Welcome to 435 Update. We're glad you're with us, and we have Mr. Ben Smith here. He's the Abilene High School principal. And last week, the high school engaged in a new activity. It's a service learning activity, and one of the reasons why we did that, well, there's multiple reasons, but one is that was one of our board goals, is to get kids more involved in our community. So, Mr. Smith, you want to just visit a little bit about what went on last week, and then we have some special guests that we will add to our program here in just a few minutes.
Sure. About this time last year, we had a group of about 10 teachers who put together this idea that we decided to go ahead and run with, and that was to find a way for our students to give back to the community. And so, in general, it was a community service day, but then we turned into more of a service learning day, where it wasn't just, hey, show up and do some work. It was brainstorm some ideas, maybe some problems in the community that collectively as a team, our groups could put their heads together and go solve some problems. And so we'd been working for the better part of the semester on it, but it's been in place since May of last year, that on April 26th, and it was a day that was chosen because it's before finals are starting to get to be a really big thing, but also late enough in the year that we hoped that the weather would be good, which
didn't quite work out.
No, best laid plans sometimes. And so our seminar teams got together, put their heads together, and decided what they want to do to help the community. And so last Wednesday, a week ago today, we had all of our seminar groups that were out in the community or in the schools enacting their plans. And so we had 2 service teams that worked out at Brown Memorial Home, for example. We had one at the Hope House on South Cedar. We had McKinley and Kennedy grade schools. We had the Catholic Cemetery north of town where students were helping out. Eisenhower Park, Parks and Rec, middle school, Village Manor, Abilene Place, Frontier Estates. We had students all over who were, a lot of it was efforts towards beautifying, but also it was just being involved with people that might benefit from having that age group there, whether it was younger kids working with high school kids, or whether it was the elders in the community who were working with someone younger and help reinvigorate them a little bit. We also hosted the League Art Show that day, and so we had some of our seminar teams get together to make lunches to serve to all those kids who came in. There was several hundred students who were here from across the league, and we happened to be out of school the same day, so it worked out really well. And so we had a team that put together the art show. We had some teams that got together to feed the students in the art show, and we had one service team who decided that they were going to attack the emptiness of the trophy cases here in the new part of Abilene High School.
Yeah, and if you were here, you would see that the trophy cases look very nice, and we're going to talk to those young ladies who are involved in that here in just a minute. What kind of feedback have you received from the Service Learning Day last week?
I made it a point to get to as many of those locations as I could. Took pictures, tweeted them out, just so that we're telling the story the way we want it to be told. And we included the hashtag Abilene 5-Star Schools, so that if anybody wanted to go back and see those, all they have to do is in Twitter or on Facebook put those hashtags in there. The mentors that were there on site usually connected with the groups, and that was a contact person well before they went to the sites on Wednesday. We're very thankful. They loved working with the students, and the feedback from the students has been really positive as well. So not just those who benefited from the work, but also our kids who put in the work, they understand the importance behind it.
Ride on into Riddle's Western Wear in Abilene for a great selection of jeans, boots, Western styles, and name brands for the working family. Riddle's Western Wear for the cowboy or cowgirl and all of us. Opening a child savings account, buying your first home, or planning your retirement? Everyone is welcome at Great Plains Federal Credit Union. Great Plains Federal Credit Union, placing people before profits.
Century Business Systems provides local Savin sales and service, competitive pricing, and simplified solutions for all of Abilene's copier and printer needs.
Midway Bar and Grill on Old Highway 40 is your local stop, offering fresh food and a great time. Open 6 days a week for lunch and dinner. Come in or call ahead today and try one of the best burgers in the area. West Plaza Country Mart, your friendly community grocery store. Now with online grocery shopping for home delivery or in-store pickup. Call, click, or stop in today. Be the belle of the ball when you shop Abilene Bridal and Formal Wear, offering elegant evening dresses and tuxedos for all occasions. Abilene Bridal and Formal Wear, where dreams come true.
Well, without further ado, let's bring our 2 young ladies here who helped work on designing and implementing the service learning for the trophy cases. So Abby, if you would come forward, we'll visit with you a little bit about your process, and I'll let Mr. Smith ask you some questions.
Great. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask you to step over here a little bit. Okay, first I want you to introduce yourselves and tell what grade you're in.
I'm Abby Elliott, and I'm in 10th grade.
I'm Abby Clark, and I'm in 9th grade.
We tried finding every Abby that we could. We had 2 in this one class. Okay, so your seminar team, your service team, decided to put together what these trophy cases should look like. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that process looked like and how your service team decided to do that?
Well, we knew that the janitors were kind of understaffed currently, and so we were like, oh, well, we can help them out and fill the entire trophy cases. So we had to sort through all of the old trophies that were taken down, and you helped with that, if you want to.
Yeah, we took all the trophies out of storage and put them in a certain room, and then we organized them into regional, state, NCKL, all the important stuff, and we organized them by the sports.
Okay, so not only by level of distinction that those trophies represent, but also by activity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, how long did that take?
Well, we put them in the actual storage room and started sorting them about we put them in the room a week before and then about 3 days before we started sorting them.
Okay. How did you decide as a service team how you're going to divide up each of these trophy cases and decide which activity goes where?
Mr. Dance actually helped with some of that, and Mr. Burton knew where he wanted certain things, and then we kind of just guessed with the rest of it on how many trophies there were for certain activities and how much room there was in some of the cases.
So did you use any schematics to lay this out and figure out where things were going? Or did you just kind of guess on a lot of things?
Some of them are guessed, like we have the debate and forensics and music trophies by the auditorium because the auditorium is more performance-based, but that's just really the only one. And then we have the newer ones closer to the front main office so people can see the new ones.
Okay. What was the most difficult part of this whole thing?
I think it was getting our team motivated to actually stick to it, and organizing was also hard.
So what did you do to get them motivated?
I don't know. You motivated them.
So in terms of keeping everybody focused, was it a difficult task to get everybody to agree that this was something that was worthwhile to do?
We had a couple of ideas thrown out, and there were some people that wanted to do some other things, but I think overall everyone was pretty okay with doing this. So they were all kind of on the same page, so it wasn't that hard.
Okay, now by design, the day was supposed to be roughly 4 hours, from 8 o'clock to noon. In addition to that, how many hours do you think your service team put into it? Because you said that you collected things a couple weeks ahead of time. So if you were to add up all those hours, how many hours would you say that your team put in?
Well, there's the 4 of the day, and then another 4 or 5, 6, so around 10 hours. Yeah.
Okay, so 2.5 times what we asked you to do is what you put in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you find to be the most rewarding element of this whole thing?
After we were done and you could just see everything was really full, I don't know, it just looked really nice.
And being able to see people come in during school and just look at them and be able to see the history was also a cool thing. And also just being able to know that you helped someone felt really nice.
Yeah.
Have you heard members of your service team make any comments about it, or how do they feel about it now that it was all said and done?
Well, afterwards they were quite tired, but
Yeah.
they were proud of what they did. So.
Now, it wasn't just picking up trophies and putting in there. If we see photos, what will we see your team doing in addition to just picking up trophies and putting them in?
There was a lot of cleaning to be done because a lot of the trophies were really old and were covered in inches of dust, so we had to clean those. Some of them we had to fix because there were some that, some basketball players had lost their ball, and so we had to epoxy those back together. And then we had to cart them throughout the school because we were kind of throughout the entire basement, really, or this floor. So we had to cart them around and collect them from the storage area and then the old trophy cases. So there was a lot of movement going on too.
And we also separated the groups into 3 different groups. There were people who organized, people who cleaned, and the people who transferred the trophies to the organizers. So we all did a lot of work, and it still took time.
Okay. What is the oldest trophy of Abilene High School that you've seen while you were working on this project?
We have one from 1915.
You remember what that activity was for?
No.
basketball? Yeah, basketball.
Okay, so we have a basketball trophy that predates America's involvement in World War I.
Yep.
But is after what?
After 6 years after Eisenhower.
Right.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, any recommendations you would give for the service day for next year?
I don't know. I think it's good to do it. It'll be good to do it every year, and just like try to help out the community. Really.
Yeah, and pretty much just help out the community. It feels really good to be able to help someone. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate your efforts and appreciate you being with us here today. Thank you.
Abilene Chiropractic and Sports Rehab, now open in Abilene, using a wide variety of techniques, providing elite care for athletes and patients in everyday life. Call, click, or stop in today for an appointment. Paws and Claws, pets, supplies, and grooming. Your one-stop critter shop at 312 North Cedar in downtown Abilene. Find that perfect dress that's just a little big? Have a favorite pair of pants that's just a bit too long? Alterations in Abilene can take in, let out, shorten, and more. Stop into their new location today.
Around here, we believe in local values like hard work, family time, or a fair price on reliable internet from a local company. That's why Eagle Communications delivers great local values, like a range of internet options to fit your family's needs. Fast and consistent enough to power everyone's devices at once. All at reasonable prices we're proud to offer our friends and neighbors. Ready for better internet? Give us a call or visit eaglecom.net and discover our local values today.
And what did you learn, Mr. Smith, from the service learning?
I learned that there is probably more desire among our student body to be involved in things like this than people might just guess right offhand. You know, we live in a social media world, and we live in a selfie world and a me world, and to have a bunch of students who are giving of themselves for others, there's a desire among a huge portion of our students to do that. As a matter of fact, one of the guiding thoughts for this whole thing was making this not a selfie-driven world. That was the theme that our group of teachers who developed this whole thing was kind of running with, not a selfie world. And so to give of themselves and to put effort of themselves into something that is beyond them and for the benefit of the community is a pretty cool thing.
All right, very good. All right, well, if you come into the Abilene High School, be sure and take a look at the trophies and know that our student body worked hard getting them in the locations that they're at, and they're nice and shiny and clean, and we're excited about having our trophy cases filled. I think there is still some room for additional trophies along the way, so our kids will continue to work hard and fill those spaces up. And with that, I'd like to thank, Mr. Smith, for one thing, for making this all happen. He worked a lot of hours to organize the staff at Abilene High School, because it was fun to come back after that day and engage with them, and they were as excited as the kids were. So it was a lot of fun, and then, of course, the students for participating. So with that, that's all I have now for USD 435 update. Thank you.